Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning into the Financial Investor channel. My name is Brent, and today we're going to be doing our stock market weekly recap for May 7th through May the 11th. So, we had a pretty good week this week. All indexes in the green. We're all out of the negative now as far as year to date. So, we're going to be covering the three major indexes, go over some stocks around the news, some of them being Apple, Exxon, Chevron, Walmart, a few others blowing up, such as Tesla, and then go over U.S. jobs, what they're looking like. 17-year low right now. Let's see, oil, silver, gold. I like to cover silver and gold. I've covered them in the past weeks. I'm going to go ahead and begin covering oil prices as well. We're at 70. We're over $70 a barrel now. So oil companies such as energy stocks such as Exxon, Chevron, those will start begin to doing well. But I did read an article. I didn't read it completely, but they're saying there's going to be some volatility in that sector. So if you guys are interested to have an ETF, I'll share with you guys. And then we'll take a look at the futures coming up for next week. And I think that's where we'll kind of wrap it up at. So let's go ahead and get started. Of course, if you are brand new to my channel, I do make stock market, real estate related investment videos. So if you're interested in any of that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, because I put out videos weekly, and let's go ahead and get into it. So S&P 500 up first. This came in second place this week, up 2.41%. We're out of the negative zone now at year to date, up 2.02. If you follow me over on Facebook at the Financial Investor 101, I bought some VOO, ticker symbol VOO. It's an ETF by Vanguard. I bought it within my Roth IRA, I believe on Monday or Tuesday. I know I posted it early in the week that I was buying into it, so I bought a couple shares of that. And I didn't buy any more of it this week just because it had constantly gone up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we're up 5-day change, 2.41%. So that purchase was a pretty good one. So up next, Dow Jones. Dow Jones up to 5-day change, 2.34%. So they actually came slightly behind the S&P 500, but they are still the loser year to date, only up 0.45%. And 5 out of the 5 days in the green. A couple of the ones that held them back recently were their financials. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan haven't been doing so hot recently. I believe Verizon actually fell down this week. Let's see. Oh no, they went up a little bit. Okay, so Verizon came up a little bit. Let's see here. Walmart fell down about 5% this week. We're going to take a look at Walmart here coming up. So I just want to cover the indexes, and then we'll move on to the single stocks. NASDAQ is the leader and winner so far, up 5-day change, 2.68%. 4 out of the 5 days positive, a little bit, barely, 0% on Friday, basically, is what I call it. Only difference, 0.03%. They had been up so much recently, with Facebook coming back, Amazon hitting, all-time highs. I know Facebook recovered all their 20% loss that they had taken within the last couple months or weeks. That's all recovered. So I think I have Facebook up here. Yeah, we're going to be taking a look at Facebook here. So up year to date, up 7.24%. So that is the winner out of the indexes. If you guys trade any of these, so S&P 500, ticker symbol VOO, you guys can buy that. That's the Vanguard. Dow Jones, ticker symbol is DIA. You guys can buy that if you guys are interested. And then the NASDAQ, that's the ticker symbol QQQ, is one that you can purchase and follow along on the NASDAQ. I know I like to purchase, QQQ or the TQQQ, which is the leveraged one. That we have the let's see, is it UDOW? I think is the leveraged Dow Jones one, and the UPRO is the leveraged S&P 500. If you're interested in any of that, that's something else. So Apple, 5-day change this week. I was expecting a bit of a pullback just due to last week's run up on Friday. Friday, everything accelerated very quickly after news of Warren Buffett buying into Apple. You can see this took off. So I bought Apple not even a month ago at 164, 166, 166, within that range. I had bought it a couple times. If you watch my recap in my Merrill Edge account, I had 285 shares of Apple just in my Merrill Edge portfolio. My wife holds some Apple as well within her Roth IRA. So this was a fairly invested stock here. It recovered very nicely over the last few weeks and actually took some profits off of there. I sold some of my Apple this week, but I was expecting Apple to have a bit of a pullback. So I did sell off around 181, 185, right around in that range. I thought there was going to be a bit of a pullback. I'm wrong, but I took some of my profits off, and I can wait for a little bit here. Or if I see it begin to kind of turn back around, then I'll just kind of buy and kind of hold and average down depending on how that goes. I see Apple within, again, the next 3 to 6 months being at 200 and over. I see it sitting between 200 and 220 within the next 3 to 6 months, and then kind of hold within that for the remainder of the year, kind of going in between there depending on news, depending on earnings and such. So good looking stock there. Exxon Mobil and Chevron, those were really exciting this week with energy, with the Iran deal. You can see here there was a bit of a pullback on Tuesday here, going off of Monday into Tuesday. Everything started off very low on both of these, and then after the Iran deal, President Trump cut off the nuclear deal with Iran, and that caused, I believe, oil prices to kind of just jump up. So Exxon jumped up there, 5-day change up 5.7%. Exxon was one of the stocks I held for the longest time in 2017. I recently sold it off in February. It's a great long-term dividend paying stock. You can buy and hold this stock for, the longest time. They've been paying out dividends for 30 plus years. Chevron is about the same situation. I don't know how long they've been paying dividends out for. I've never owned Chevron, but 5-day change up 3.43%. If you guys are interested in getting invested in oil, I would suggest taking a look at the ETF called Energy Select Sector. It's ticker symbol XLE. This will give you energy related, stocks. This is the number of stocks here. The holdings here, it has basically energy. So here's the top 10 holdings. We have Exxon, Chevron, Schlumberger, ConocoPhillips, a couple Valero there, Phillips 66, and a couple others that I'm not really familiar with. But the main ones again are Exxon and Chevron. So this is going to give you your energy exposure and being a little bit diversified while not just sitting within Exxon, which had a 6% run up this week, Chevron, which had a 4% or 3.5% run up this week, and next week, you may have one or two of those stocks have some sort of pullback, or have volatility in the next coming weeks. And being within an ETF that has them, a 20% is the max that they're kind of holding as far as portfolio weighting, but they're still diversified with a couple other stocks, and these are just our top 10 holdings. So there's a couple other competitors here. If you guys are interested in checking out any of that, just go ahead and pause the video, go check out those ETFs. But I just want to share those ETFs with you guys if you guys are interested. Starbucks on the news. So Starbucks, they had a deal with Nestle. So Nestle had a deal that cost them $7.15 billion, and it allowed Nestle to sell Starbucks products globally. So for some reason, with Starbucks being able to be sold by another company, Starbucks also changed their bathroom policy. I had read a little bit about that, but yeah, they have it right here. Our bathrooms are open to anyone who wants to use them. So Nestle Starbucks distribution is a win-win. Nestle is able to make some profits from buying the ability to sell Starbucks products, and Starbucks is selling, that deal that went along with Nestle. That's going to give them very nice profits, and then they're going to get some sort of money whenever, I don't know, let's see what's it called. I can't think of it. Basically, whenever there's a sale, you get a portion of the sale. I think that's how it's going to be going. Royalties, I think so. So we'll see. I haven't read into it 100%. I just read a small article kind of covering it. Actually, I think it's here. This is one that I just finished up reading. It's a, Starbucks, it's underrating Nestle alliance, and they're expanding into China. I think Starbucks is one that I may consider added to my portfolio for a short time. I don't drink Starbucks myself. I drink local coffees within my area, so I may stop at a Human Bean or at Dutch Bros, which are two kind of semi-local places. They're kind of within the West Coast, so but I don't usually stop at a Starbucks. But as far as global, Starbucks is everywhere, regardless of where you go overseas or within within the United States and such. And then China being a huge segment now, and they're beginning to grow, and then with Nestle. So I think that'll be really interesting. Walmart here was on the news this week. Walmart's news was basically they had announced that they were agreeing to buy like a 77% stake in an Indian-based company called Flipkart for about $16 billion. So you can see here that they announced this on after hours of Tuesday. That dropped their stock by, roughly 3% on Wednesday, and then continued to kind of fall a little bit further again on Wednesday after hours. Open up pretty low on Thursday, kind of right up a little bit, but kind of ended for the week almost near negative 5%. So Walmart, my wife's holding it within her Roth IRA. Great long-term buy and hold. They've been paying dividends for 60 plus years. I think they will continue to improve their online presence, both within the United States and international as well. So Amazon versus Walmart, the fight for India is just beginning. Walmart is trying to get their foot in the door, and that's what they're trying to do. So they're trying to buy a controlling stake in Flipkart, and they're going to use that to their advantage. And we won't see it within the next 1 to 2 years, but give it a few years, and you're going to see Walmart definitely turn around. Walmart has a great long-term reputation. So if you're buying and holding, and you're getting paid those dividends, in the end, that will be fine. So let's see here. What's next? Tesla had an accident this week. I don't know if it was actually this week or the last week, where those two teenagers driving, I think it was over in Florida, they had crashed the car. It wasn't due to the autopilot, but the battery exploded, and now the feds are investigating it. Tesla's working with them to investigate what exactly happened and what caused the explosion to take place. Tesla's also opening up their tunnels underneath California, and they're going to be trying to give away free rides, I think. I saw that on Facebook somewhere, so I'm not 100% sure if that's correct or not, but lots of stuff going on. I'm actually surprised Tesla's still moving up. This was, $230, I think, back in June, July of 2017. People were saying, let's see here. Oh, wow, okay. So recently, it hadn't been really below. Okay, so it has came down quite a bit over the year. Okay, so so it used to be when people were watching this at 330, not 230. They had said that if it drops below 300, then they would purchase it. So right now it's trading at 301. So I'm sure there was you can see the huge purchase that dropped. It went down into the 360s, 350s before bouncing back up into the 350s. So anybody who bought into Tesla at the time, they're probably doing very well for themselves right now. Continuing on, Facebook, this is just one I was kind of checking out. So they had their data leak, and Mark Zuckerberg went, who spoke before the Senate, I think it was Senate, and that company who had done the data leak, they actually filed for bankruptcy. That whole mess is behind them. 1 month change up 12.43%. Just within the last 5 days, they've had an increase of nearly 6%. I think that's amazing. I didn't expect Facebook. I don't follow Facebook as much as I probably should. I've owned the FANG stock, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, Microsoft. I've owned all of those. I was primarily a growth investor back in 2014, 15, 16, and then I kind of changed it up in 2017 to be a dividend investor. Tried it out for a while. I really enjoyed those dividends coming in every single, month. And then I recently changed it up again, so I changed my style of investing here and there. But overall, it's all moving in the positive direction. So Facebook, that's a great just buy and hold for the long term. It's very understandable. So, how do they make profits? ads. It's very, very easy to understand. NVIDIA Corp, they released their earnings. I have their earnings. I don't know if they actually announced it here, but so they had fell down prior to earnings. Yeah, so they fell down here prior to earnings or due to earnings. I'm not sure if it was prior or due to earnings, but after they announced it, they bounced right back up. They did go down slightly on Friday by 2.16%, but still 5-day change up 6.5%. And I believe it was mainly due to them believing that their GPUs would go down due to the decrease in demand for crypto miners. I still mine here and there. Bitcoin isn't as expensive as it used to be. You know, at $18,000, $19,000. It sits right now around $9,000, $10,000. If you have a graphics card and you mine, you can pull a couple dollars per day, and it adds up. So in a month, you could mine between $30 to $60, depending on how many GPUs and how often you mine. So kind of interesting there. So interesting little article. Verizon, I wasn't tracking anything on Verizon. I think I was just kind of looking at it. Let's see, LB brands. What else? I know LB fell by quite a lot this week. Yeah, down 5.88%. So, yeah, Victoria's Secret had warned Wall Street that the first quarter profits may come in lower than expected, and that's what kind of dropped their shares down. So their earnings are expected on May 23rd. So this could be a great buying opportunity because they already fell down. They said that their earnings are expected to be lower than expected. So the stock already decreased by nearly 6%. So if you are an L brands lover out there, you know, year to date down 46%. This is very risky. Very risky. I don't know if I would, you know, I don't know. That would be a risky stock to jump into, I think, unless I did more research. You always got to do more research. Anyways, so U.S. unemployment rates have fallen to a 17-year low, even as the job market growth slows. So even though the job market growth slows, I know there are hundreds of thousands of jobs out there, and it doesn't seem like there's people looking for them. I think there's really more jobs than there's willing people to work or people that, you know, want to pass those drug screens. So we have a lot of jobs here locally in my own network, and there's people posting jobs all the time. We have it over on Facebook, like a job market posting thing, and people are posting jobs, but they make all these jokes. I'm in Oregon, so you know, they always make the jokes. It's like if you know, there's lots of jobs out there, but there's very small amount of people that can fit those jobs because they smoke marijuana, and that, you know, of course, you pop hot, you can't work. So unemployment rate has fell to near below 4% in April for the first time since late 2000. Jobs gains were softer than economists had forecast. Wage growth has slowed. So very nice looking charts here. If you guys are interested in this, I'll go ahead and have some of these links in the description below. That way you guys can check them out. So oil here. Oil change for the week up 1.14%. Oil's been on the up and up here over the 1 month change at 4.95%. 3 month change up to 20.15%. So about year to date, they've been going up this week, this year so far, year to date, 18.65%. So there are some slumps here where they go down. You know, they kind of followed along with our correction here in February, and then it kind of followed along with the market here as well. Silver up 5-day change 1.03%. I was talking to an investor over on our Facebook groups, and he was, you know, beginning to write a book on, I think it was minerals and such, and physical assets. So I think this was kind of something interesting that maybe, I don't know. I own some silver. I own physical silver. I have some silver bars. I think I have some silver coins as well. I may do a video on that. I have a bunch of bonds. I may do a video showcasing some silver, physical silver, and some bonds. I think I said silver. Anyways, and then we have gold. Gold up 0.37%. Year to date, only up 1.09%. When the market is doing really well, gold itself doesn't do amazing. So here, gold wouldn't be one I would be investing at this current time unless the market turns south And then I may consider, I owned gold at the beginning of 2017. If I go back and log into my motive investing portfolio, I traded a gold ETF, I think it was, and I bought it at the beginning of 2017, and it did really well. It traded up for like January through March because the market right there was very volatile in early 2017 when President Trump was elected. So I took advantage of that, bought in the gold. I made my, pretty good percentage there, and then sold it off as the economy kind of turned around. Everybody was happy, and it's been kind of yada yada. So after hours, stock market futures, S&P 500 up in the positive by 0.34%. NASDAQ kind of staying within the same what it's kind of did on Friday, down slightly at negative 0.11. Dow up at 0.48. A few of the after hour movers are Gap, Fox, 21st Century Fox, Realty Income, down 2%. This is one I sold off out of my portfolio. I was holding Realty Income. I was holding two REITs. It was Realty Income, ticker symbol O, and then I was holding WPC, which is ticker symbol. Oh wait, I already told you WPC, WP Carry, and I think I had one other, but I just think with rising interest rates, I wasn't invested as much into Realty Income, and I wasn't positive in the stock, so those were sold at a loss. Those are a couple of the stocks that actually sold off at a loss. So one of the ones here that I'm very happy of is CenturyLink. This is one I posted over on Facebook. CenturyLink up this week. Let's go check it out. So I made a video like several months ago here, CTL, back in November of time frame that CenturyLink, I believe CenturyLink would be a stock that would hit $20 to $24 within the next 3 to 6 months. So this was back in November time frame. They were in the $13, $14 range. I had bought about $5,000 worth of shares because they were, $13, $14. I could buy a number of shares for that amount. So they had a 15% dividend yield at that time. I held them for up until February and sold them off right at $17, I think $17.30. So I didn't expect it to kind of climb this high so fast. So they're at $19.60. So up, yeah, catches eye. So CenturyLink, this is one I kind of was following long ago when they had the acquisition with Level 3. I knew Level 3 was doing really well. Their management team had came on board with CenturyLink and was beginning to turn the company around at the CenturyLink level. I have friends that work at CenturyLink. I work in telecommunications and IT. I do computer services myself. So as an engineer, I can I have a lot of telecom friends that are, hey, how's CenturyLink doing now that they kind of merged with Level 3? Oh, they're doing great. They're moving in management. They're trying to change a lot of the policies and making it blah blah blah. So a lot of discussions there. I think the company is turning around for the better. So 5-day change up 6%, year to date up 17.51%. So I know a couple of investors on my Facebook groups and on my past videos had bought into CenturyLink as well. It's one of my top 3 telecom stocks. AT&T, Verizon, CenturyLink, those are all great. Comcast is sitting there as well. So good stocks there overall. Okay, so I have earnings here pulled up for next week. So earnings coming up next week. We have the retail beginning to go. So we have Cisco, Home Depot, Walmart. So on Monday, May 14th, we have Dick's Sporting Goods. I don't expect them to do so great. I know a lot of gun activists, people that enjoy going to the ranges and owning firearms and such. I think they haven't done as many sales here in Oregon and maybe nationally as well, but I guess we'll see how Dick's Sporting Goods ends up going. See, Tuesday, a couple of the big ones here are Home Depot. I think Home Depot will do well. Boot Barn, never heard of it. Wednesday, we have Cisco Systems. I think they're going to have a really good quarter. Security, their security sector is definitely kind of beefing up, being more perpetual, having licensing. I know we license Prime, ICE, a number of their systems. We're always buying routers and switches whenever we have a new acquisition and building kind of set up. So I know any other company out there, they prefer Cisco over Netgear over. I can't even think of the other brands. I have them in my head like at the tip, but I can't think of them. And we have Children's Place, Jack in the Box, kind of interesting. We have Macy's, Take Two Interactive Software. This is, I think I own that one like 2016. It was e-commerce. I had an e-commerce frenzy there. And on Thursday, May 17th, we have Walmart kind of going. I don't know what to expect out of Walmart right now. Applied Materials, J.C. Penney, and Nordstrom for reporting earnings. And then on Friday, we have AstraZeneca, Campbell's Soup, Deere, and Hibbett Sports. So I will have this link here in the description below if you guys are interested in taking a look at stocks with X dividends next week. I do think Cisco will be earnings. Walmart, I'm not 100% sure. I do expect them to do well. I think there was that whole kind of last time they reported earnings, they reported them in a way that somebody within their company said that they didn't report them the right way, so that kind of made their stock slump. And well, who knows what's going on? I need to learn more about Walmart because my wife has it within her portfolio. I think it's a good long-term buy and hold, but I just need to get more information on it for myself. Now, things that we covered here on Facebook, Apple, it peaked at 187 early in the week. So this may have been where I sold. So let's see here. It could be a daily buy. Okay, so maybe I bought it or I sold it. I think I sold it and then rebought it. I don't know what I did. And market could be volatile tomorrow at 2 p.m. due to the nuclear deal with Iran. So there wasn't a whole lot of volatility. I was expecting a lot more volatility on Tuesday. I was watching ticker symbol VU. I think that's when I actually bought it. So yeah, here we are. So indexes did do a very quick dip. I did buy some VU inside my Roth IRA. So I bought it at 244. Interesting to see a $2 difference. And then I also bought some UPRO at 131.98. So I did buy a couple stocks this week. I bought VU. That was at, what did I buy it at? I bought it at 244. It's at 250.47 now. And then I bought UPRO at 130. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, I bought UPRO at 131.98 and it's at 142.45. So pretty good buys this week. Of course, if you follow the S&P 500, those are both the S&P. This is the standard S&P 500. This is the leveraged ETF, which is like a 3 times. So you make 3 times what the S&P 500 would normally get. So within a week, if the S&P 500 moved up 2%, this symbol would move up nearly 6%. So that's how it kind of worked there. Let's see here. That was already covered. A bit of a run up this morning, slow to start, get going. VU made a nice run up from the 145s, now 147. QQQQ is testing the 30-day highs. So I believe one of the indexes had actually crossed over the 200-day moving average, maybe not. And energy and financials on May the 9th, which was Wednesday. Whenever I during the day, whenever I'm watching the indexes here, see if it refreshes without kicking me out. During the day, I like to use Merrill Edge. I'll come down here and I'll see today's change. One second. Okay, so over here on Merrill Edge, I'll watch their research tab during the day. I like to see if I'm looking to buy into the S&P 500 to kind of follow along with the S&P 500, I will watch the sector performance. And the main things I want to watch for are financials, information technology, telecommunication services. That makes up about 60% of the S&P 500. If I get healthcare in there as well, and energy, that does really well as well. But the main things I'm looking for, whether it'll be a good day, a green day or a red day, is whether telecommunications and information technology are green, and if financials are green. Sometimes financials will be down like 2%. and information technology and telecommunications will be up 1%. So that'll kind of be like a so-so day. That may be a, semi-red day or a nothing day. So I kind of follow along here during the day and do some, I buy into those dips during the day and then kind of hold. So let's see here. Okay, I posted about Walmart then. Posted about CenturyLink a little bit here. We have our strong week, and that's about it over on Facebook. So the market week recap. So this is kind of ending it for the video. We're at 30 minutes. This is probably my longest weekly recap. I don't know if I should cover as many stocks as I did and jibber jabber as much as I did, but I'm pretty sure that we hit up everything that kind of went on this week. As far as what went on with the stock market indexes, President Trump pulling out of Iran, we talked about that. Let's see here a little bit more. Middle East tension. We had crude oil. We talked about oil kind of going up past $70. Industrial technology. All the indexes did very well this week. Without consumer staples and utilities, they're down in the red. S&P 500 added. Okay, that's all just difference. Apple extending, broke through its new highs. Record closes 5 days in a row on Thursday. The streak was broken with a small loss on Friday. I'm holding Apple on, I'm holding Apple. So I actually had a negative day on Friday. I didn't move up as much as the index this week, but I still moved up nearly 2%. So not as much as the index is just because my portfolio is mainly Apple. And let's see here. That's about it. So that is basically it for this week. I don't want to drag you guys any more longer than I already have. So if you guys did enjoy the video, if you guys did see any information here that was worthwhile, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. So some of the stocks to kind of look out for as Apple. Check out the ETF XLE. Take a look at Starbucks. Do you think it's a good buy? Do you think it's a ignore for now with their new acquisition? Or actually not acquisition, with Nestle buying the rights to sell their merchandise. Walmart, what do you guys think about Flipkart? Do you think Walmart did a good purchase there? Kind of moving into the India market. Tesla, do you guys own Tesla? Facebook, Nvidia? Let me know in the comment section below. And that is basically it. As a friendly disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor or tax professional. The information provided is, for my opinion, for entertainment and fun. This is not investment advice. This is just me as a financial investor myself, trying to help others make their money work for them. And of course, thank you guys all for watching. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.